So I don't know about where everybody else is, but here in St. Clair and Witchwood, it was a snowy day today and yesterday. And I'm in this little book club with some girlfriends. And the book we're reading right now is called Wintering. And I wanted to start class with a little passage from this book because I love it. And I think it really drives home an alternative perspective about how we can approach these cold, snowy days where, especially in the beginning, it's a big transition and there's boots and stuff everywhere and it's stressful as a parent. So I'll share what she reads. She says, "Try as I might, I can't affect the adult hardness towards a snowfall, full of resentment at its inconvenience. I love the inconvenience the same way that I sneakingly love a bad cold, the irresistible disruption to mundane life, forcing you to stop for a while and step outside of your normal habits. I love the visual transformation that it brings about, that recoloring of the world into a sparkling white, and the way that the rules change suddenly so that everybody says hello as they pass. I love what snow does to the light, the purplish clouds that loom before it descends, and the way that it announces itself from behind your curtains in the morning, glowing with a whiteness that can only mean snow. I love the feeling of it fresh underfoot and heading out into a snowstorm to catch it on my gloves. I am rarely childlike and playful, except in the snow. It swings me into reverse gear." November is about the most mundane month of the year. And so today's practice is about this concept of wintering. It's about really like diving into it instead of pushing it away. And we'll start with some breath work. Sit up nice and tall. And take one hand on your tummy and place one hand on your chest. Close your eyes. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose. And a long exhale out through your mouth. Inhale again. Exhale out through your mouth. And just feeling your body move in response to these relatively regular breaths. Can you set an intention around perspective change? So maybe it's seasonal, maybe you loathe the winter, the rush in the mornings, the traffic, finding parking. And perhaps your intention, like the story, is just to look at the purplish clouds and listen to the sound of snow beneath your feet instead. But if that doesn't resonate, maybe there's something else in your life you can use a little perspective change on. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you breathe in, feel your chest rise, your ribs expand, and then your belly push forward into the palm of your hand. As you exhale, feel your belly soften, your ribs contract, and your chest lower. This is called three-part breathing. Inhale, your heart lifts, ribs expand, belly opens wide. Exhale, belly retreats, ribs retreat, and chest caves. Inhale to your chest, your ribs, and your belly. Exhale all the way back down. Three-part breath. Keep breathing in this really expansive way, taking a little more air every time you inhale and lengthening the exhale a little bit longer every time you exhale. Starting to let go of any distracting thoughts, anything around you. And really just feeling the pulse of your breath, opening and closing at your command. Keep breathing like this. One more minute here on your own. Let's breathe together again. Inhale to your chest, ribs, and belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, and chest. Slide your hands together in front of your heart. Take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Bow your head into your hands. Think about this intention of wintering or changing your perspective. And as you blink open your eyes, right away, give yourself a great big hug and try to reach your hands back behind you so they get into that piece of skin on the inside of your scapula. So right on the inside of the bony part of your shoulder. And then just press your fingers in. Relax your fingers, tuck your chin into your chest, and start to roll around. If you've been sitting all day, this might feel strange. It might feel strange no matter what. It's a little slow dance with yourself. Really, really, really dull, slow movement here. Peel yourself up through center. Take your arms, open them out, reach your arms up, take a breath in. And with an exhale, place your hands down onto the floor in front of you and walk your hands forward. Draw your chest down, push the floor away. See if you can lengthen through your spine, ground your sit bones and sink even deeper. Inhale here. And as you exhale, walk your hands over towards the right, just to that place where you feel an edge, a little shearing of skin and tissue on that left side of your body. Breathe in here. With your exhale, walk your hands over towards the left, push both sit bones down. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your fingers back through center. One by one, walk each hand in towards your body. Come back up to your cross-legged seat. And when you get there, roll your shoulders up and back. Close your eyes, move slowly, deeply. Other direction. Good, and now reach both arms out in front of you. Make fists with both hands and drop your fists down. Just rock those fists from side to side. Rock your fists from side to side. Turn your palms to face up. Open your hands wide and then squeeze them shut. Open your hands wide and squeeze them shut. And now open your left hand wide, point your fingertips down, take your right hand across the front of your left hand and start to pull your fingers in, stretching the front of the arm here. Drop your left shoulder, engage your core, breathe in and breathe out. Try that on the other side. We'll get a little deeper in a moment. So it's just one breath to start. Your right fingers point down, catch them with your left hand, pull them in, engage your core, breathe in, drop your right shoulder as you breathe out. That's it. And now just shake out your wrists. And before you take them onto the floor, onto your mat now, with your fingers facing in towards your body. So for some of us, it might just be the pads of your fingers that touch your mat. For others, you might get the entire hand, palm, maybe the fingers. You're not trying to break open at the seams here. You just want to feel a big stretch through that inside line of your wrist. Take a breath in. And exhale. Good. Last piece here. Open your arms out to the side now. And take your right arm underneath your left arm. And give yourself that little hug again. And either stay here or place the backs of your hands together. Either stay here or place your palms together. When we think about getting cozy, these shapes, these cow face shapes, they're called Garudasana, are all about really wrapping ourselves up inside ourselves. So squeeze in towards your belly, squeeze your arm into your arm. And if it's available to you, you might tuck your chin into your chest, round into your upper back, and bring your elbows into your belly. Breathe into your upper back. Sink a little deeper on the exhale. Good. Inhale, pick it all back up. Your right arm was under. Take it out, shake it out, and switch sides. So now your left arm comes under. Start phase one. Just give yourself a hug. Take your palms, maybe the backs of your palms towards one another, and find your version of the final pose. Don't worry what it looks like. Start to breathe into your upper back. So right between your shoulder blades, like you could create space. I constantly have this visual in this shape that there's big angel wings sprouting when you breathe deeper and deeper out through that back body. And now you can stay here or round, roll and tuck in, mindful of spinal injuries here. Take a breath in and exhale. Good. Unravel and unwrap. Sweep your arms all the way up. Inhale. And let's exhale right down onto all fours. Press your palms down. If you have a blanket for sensitive knees, you can put it beneath your knee joints now. Spread your fingers wide. Set your body down on the floor. So your knees are beneath your hips and your wrists are beneath your shoulders. Inhale, drop your belly down, move your shoulders back, lift your heart and your chest and your gaze up. Now as you exhale, puff between your shoulder blades, round into your upper back and look towards your belly. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart up. Exhale into that great big rounded shape. Stabilize in neutral. Step your hands an entire footprint forward. And then take your hips and move your hips over towards the right. Start to sink your hips to your heels as you create this big circular motion with your hips. It might come all the way forward towards a bit of a seal or back bendy shape, but it doesn't have to. If your body's like mine, all your bones will be cracking as you move into this little action here. And try it in the other direction a few times. And part of this idea of wintering or getting cozy is even sensual, right? Like we're really snuggling more this time of the year with pets, with partners, with our kids. It's dark, we're indoors. And slip yourself all the way back into a child's pose. Push your hips down towards your heels. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, cruise your hands over towards the right. Push the floor away. Round your hips. Breathe in. Exhale, walk your hands over towards the left. You just did this from seated. Feel it again. Notice if it's the same or different. Good, and now pick yourself back up. You're moving through this practice like you'd move through honey. Everything's really slow. Pick yourself back up. Take your left leg, bend your left knee, bring your heel towards your bum, and just start to create circles with that left knee. Sending a little bit of fluidity to your hip joint here. These circular actions can start to release tension in and around the pelvis. So if you have pelvic floor issues, just make your circles a bit smaller if this feels like too much. And after you've done a few circles in each direction, can you send that left leg all the way back? Point your toes down, pull your belly button in, reach your right arm forward. And it's enough to just pause here. Just to be still, belly button is really strong and steady for 5. Use some core strength for 4. Track your right hip back, turn your left toes down for 3. Puff between your shoulder blades for 2. On 1, lower your right hand and your left leg down. Sit back onto your heels. Notice how my feet are flexed. Flex your feet here so you get a little stretch through, not a little stretch, a huge stretch through the fascia in the soles of your feet. Sit back onto your heels. Good. Take your hands down onto your thighs. Inhale to your chest, your ribs, and your belly. Exhale to your belly, ribs, and chest. One more breath in and out. Beautiful. Slide forward. Turn the tops of your feet onto your mat and tap the tops of your feet down. Now pick up the opposite leg, your right leg. Draw your heel to your bum and start those really juicy hip circles, as big or as little, as slow or as fast as you want. Every single movement in this class, can you treat it like it's sacred? I had a teacher say that to me once. And if you treat every movement like it's sacred, it changes the way you do it. You're not rushing through it. You're not bracing for it or waiting for it to end. You treat it almost like a prayer. Change directions if you haven't already. And eventually extend that right leg all the way up, zip up through your belly button, puff up between your shoulder blades, and stretch your left arm forward. Preserve that stillness for 5, 4, draw your tailbone down if the back is hurting for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hand, lower the knee. Bring your knees together. Big toes are together. Sink your hips to your heels and reach your hands back behind you. Tuck your head down onto the floor into a little turtle pose. Breathe into your upper back. See if you can feel the breath. See if you can feel the breath. Push your ribs against the skin of your upper back. Guess your thoracic spine, your mid-back. And then focus even more and take another breath. See if you can feel all the little connective tissues that live between each of your ribs that hold the ribs together. Nice and slow, slide your body back up. Plant your palms flat. And take your right leg back into extension. Take your left leg back into extension. Harness your body in high plank. Inhale. And with an exhale, push it back into a downward facing dog. Linger here. Play with the shape. So your downward facing dog doesn't have to look a certain way. The point of the shape is to feel a big stretch in your hamstrings. So the back line of your legs, all the way up to your spine. And that means that to get that stretch, if you need to take your feet wider, that's okay. To bring them more narrow, that's okay. The key pieces of alignment here are to really pin down through the L shape between your index finger and your thumb so your hands are supported and your wrists don't get injured. to let your head be heavy and to push your chest back towards your thighs. Good. Bend into both knees, look forward. Take as many steps as you'd like to come to the top of your yoga mat. And when you get there, slip your hands up your knees, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Bend into your knees. Take your hands and interlace them behind your head. Pull your kneecaps up towards your hips. Let your head dangle. Breathe. Release your hands down, tuck your chin into your chest. If you have spinal issues, come up with a straight spine, otherwise rolling up. And when you get up, roll your shoulders back. I just had a thought. I wonder if fruit roll-ups exist anymore. I don't see them in stores. Rolling up like a fruit roll-up, and maybe people don't even get that reference unless they're born in the 80s. Take your hands alongside your body. Roll your shoulder blades back. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And as you exhale, take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Just stretch over towards the right. Push your hips in the opposite direction. Draw your pubic bone up, your tailbone down. Breathe into the side body and try to find that sensation of your ribs pushing towards your skin. So the mundane becomes fascinating when you really sink in. Engage your core, work your way back through center, take it over to the other side. Track your hips towards the right, reach your arms towards the left, sink nice and deep in, pull the pubic bone up. So you have this centerpiece of strength. And now drive your hands back through center and take your arms out alongside your body. Plug your shoulders up towards your ears, just pull them up really, really high and scrunchy and then drop them back down. Pull your shoulders back up towards your ears and drop them back down. One more time like that. Pull your shoulders up to your ears, drop them back down. Good. Give yourself a great big hug. Wrap your hands behind you. See if you can pinch your fingers in and around the shoulders, maybe going up or down or all around. And then you can start to slow dance, and if you need a little more direction, think about doing a figure 8 movement with your hips. I'm on a floor creak. I don't know if it makes the sound all the way through, but there's one little creak there. Good, and now take your arms out and switch. Whatever arm was on top will now be on the bottom. Give yourself that hug and just slow down and sway your hips. Side to side. That's it. No expectations, you're just moving your body. Good, arms come down alongside the body. If you're not at the top of your mat, you can walk your way up there. Now listen carefully. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. But on the exhale, just interlace your hands behind your back. Scoop your shoulder blades towards one another. Draw your tailbone down. Pubic bone lifts up and look up. Bend into your knees and begin to fold forward with your hands gripping one another or not. And if they're bound, you can start to reach your arms up beyond your head. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, drop your hands back down towards your bum, down towards the floor. Lift your torso up to a halfway lift, lengthening that spine long. And now plant your hands on the floor and step back into a high plank shape. Drop your knees, drop your chin, drop your chest, drop your whole body down to the floor. It's okay if you have a blanket here like I do. And take your fingers off the mat onto the floor beside you. Pulse your elbows up. Inhale, lift your heart and chest up. As high or as low, as fast or as slow as you want. Spinal undulations, just moving the body dynamically. Maybe it's just vertical up and down. But you could try dipping one shoulder down and peering over the opposite shoulder. And if you do that, dip the opposite shoulder down, peering to the other side. Finally, come all the way down through center, plant your palms and just push yourself up onto all fours. Send your hips back to your heels and let that transition you into your downward dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Pick up your left leg, bend your left knee, and make just one big circle in each direction with your left knee. It's trickier because you're literally upside down. Step your left foot between your hands, ground your right knee. Maybe the top of your foot comes on the floor, but you can flex it instead. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Find that stability by hugging your inner thighs together. Exhale, sweep your arms back behind you. Lower your torso to your thighs. 2 more times. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, slide down. Last time, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, slide down. This time, take your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Press your left hand onto your left thigh and roll your right ribs up. Take your right arm up. Maybe look up. A big breath comes in through the nose. And as you exhale, take that right hand down to the inside of your left foot and heel toe your left foot out to the outside edge of your yoga mat. Option 1 is to pause here. Option 2, roll onto the outside edge of your left foot. So you're fanning that left leg out and pour your weight down into a lizard lunge for 5. Breathing 4. Thinking 3. Listening for 2. 1 more breath comes in. And as you exhale, imprint your left foot back down onto the floor. Push both hands back down onto the mat. Sink your hips back to your heels. Lengthen your left leg. Draw your toes up. Walk your hands midway down your body. And now you can drip your weight over that left leg. Feel that hamstring, that same hamstring that gets stretched during downward facing dog. Good. Plant your left foot down. Ground both hands to the inside of that foot and lift up your right knee. Stay strong in that right leg as you pull your left leg back. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Exhale out through your mouth. Inhale forward to a high plank. Straight away, drop your knees. Drop your chin and drop your chest. Now your whole body melts down. Take your hands a little wider than your mat. Press your palms down. Roll your shoulders back by any amount. Begin to straighten your arms, but pause this time. And if that's too tricky, walk your hands further forward. Walk your hands further forward to take some of the compression out of your lumbar spine. Our yoga poses should never cause us pain. They might stretch or put stress on the tissues. They might cause a reaction, an emotional, maybe even a physical reaction, but that shouldn't be pain. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, sink back down. Give yourself a moment here, let your head flatten. And open both arms wide. Roll over onto the right side of your body. Your right ear comes to the floor or maybe onto a blanket or sweater. And that right arm is in full extension. So I'll show you on the opposite side. Right arm is in full extension. Your left arm can stay on the floor or you can reach it up and over. Can you try, just try, it probably won't work very well, but try to take one of those 3-part breaths where you breathe into your chest, your ribs, and your belly, just one. I exhale the same. Slink back through center, pause there. And transition to the other side. Maybe your opposite arm reaches up and over. Go ahead and try 1 3-part breath here. Release your body back flat onto the ground. Inhale. Exhale, push your hands down, lift up onto your knees. Take as much time as you'd like to find downward facing dog. And when you get there, stretch your right leg up, bend your right knee, and start to create circles that feel good with your right knee. Look forward, glide your right leg forward and plant your right foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down. Inhale, push through the ball of your right foot, reach your arms up. Exhale, lower your arms down, lower your torso to your thigh. Push through the ball of your right foot to lift up. Exhale, release down. One more time, press down to rise up. And now you know where we're headed. The left hand graces the floor right on the inside of your right foot. Press the right hand onto your right thigh. Start to roll your right ribs open. If your shoulder feels good, reach your right arm up. And keep externally rotating your left arm, your left shoulder. So there's this one long line from finger or wrist rather to wrist. Nice. Lower your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe that foot out and roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. Inhale here. Exhale, you might stay or surrender and sink down onto your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Takes you back up, pressing your palms into the floor, flattening that right foot before you straighten the right leg, wander back. Lift up your right toes. Inhale as a long spine comes. Exhale into that fold forward. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Listen carefully. Walk forward. Place both hands on the inside of that foot and step back onto both knees. Step back onto both knees. If you have really tight joints, you can take your blanket and make your blanket like a big block. If you have a block, you can use a block. But we'll sit down on our knees with whatever cushioning you can put between your feet, right beneath your bum. Knees wide, knees together, whatever feels okay for you. So not a lot of strain here. And now take your right hand, reach your right arm up on an inhale. And as you exhale, just reach it back behind you, like you're handing someone a gift. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, stretch it back behind you. Once again, inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, stretch it back behind you. Take your right fingers to the floor if you can. Draw your pubic bone down. Inhale, lift your left arm up. That's it. Exhale, drop it down. Roll back through center. Other side. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Mobilizing your shoulder joint. Exhale, let it release. 2 more times. Move with your breath. Good. The next time that left arm comes back behind you, plant your fingers on the floor, pull your pubic bone up, reach the opposite arm up, and release back down. Good. Take your right hand across your left thigh, full twist now. Walk your left fingers back behind you. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look back. That's it. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Exhale, twist right away to the other side. So your right hand comes back behind you, left hand to your thigh. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, look back. Good. Creep your body forward, plant your palm. Carefully stretch back one leg and then the next. Find downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Slide your right foot forward, plant it between your hands. Scissor your thighs up, reach both arms up. That's your inhale. You can stay here, or with the exhale, reach your arms back behind you. Press into your right foot. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, fold forward. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, fold forward, just like before, take your left hand to the inside of the right foot. You might open that foot a little wider, reach your right arm up. Draw your right ribs up and back. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Listen to this transition. Take your right hand down. Step your left foot halfway up your mat. You're in pyramid pose. Fold over your right leg. It's just like what we did from the floor. Pull your inner thighs up and back. Sink your chest down. Just one more breath in. Exhale. And now bend into your right knee. Walk your hands forward just beneath your shoulders. Pick up your left leg. Option 1, stay here, standing split. Option 2, bring your hands, both hands to your right calf, your right shin. Option 3, bring your hands to your chest. Option 4, alongside your body. There's just one more option. Reach your arms forward. Breathing here for 3 and 2. On 1, step to the top of your yoga mat. Take one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Just close your eyes and feel. Inhale. Big sigh comes out of your mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Really good. Step to the top of your yoga mat. Sweep both arms up overhead. You go down with a flat spine if you're working with back injuries, otherwise fold forward. Inhale, lift up your heart and chest halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step into plank pose, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Look forward, slide forward with your left foot. Scissor your inner thighs together and reach both arms up, high lunge or warrior lunge. Inhale here. Exhale to stay or scoop your arms down, reach your belly to your thigh. 2 more times. Focus your eyes on something still. Focus your energy to the midline of your body and focus your breath. Good. And the next time you come down, find a little reprieve. You can take your right hand to the inside of your left foot, ground it, roll your left ribs up, reach your left arm up. It could stay on your hip too. A few breaths here, looking up, straight ahead or down. Nice work. Gracefully lower your left hand down, step your back foot forward, halfway up your mat, straightening both legs by any amount. There's that hamstring again, pour your weight over it. Let your head dig heavy into the floor. Coming out of this, walk your hands beneath your shoulders, pick up your back leg. It's your right leg this time. Level out your hips. Scissor your inner thighs together. Either leave your hands here or take one of the many other variations. For 3. Good. For 2. Lift that heel a little bit higher. On 1, step that foot to the top of your yoga mat. Come up to standing if you're not there already. And collapse one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Close your eyes and think about all the beauty that comes with these first few snowfalls. You know, as I was walking Archie, my little 2-year-old, to to school today, he kept saying, "Is it real, Mom?" And he'd grab onto it and play with it and rub it on his bare hands, stick his tongue out to catch it. "Is it real?" And I wish that kind of magic or belief in magic for all people. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sigh out through your mouth. Open your eyes. This class has been a slow progression to this pose. This is called eagle pose. You can't get much cozier or huggy in a yoga pose than you do in this one. If you're working on any injuries that might impede you from doing this, I'll give you places to get off. Okay, so your first step, everyone, is to come down into chair pose, and you could stay here. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Second step is to ground through your left foot. Take your right leg over your left foot and maybe pin the toes to the ground or bind. So you can wrap the legs behind you. From here, can you take your left arm under your right arm and squeeze your back? You've done this a lot in this class. Engage your core, draw your tailbone down. Same cue, sink your hips deeper. Maybe the backs or the palms come to touch. And then squeeze everything to the midline of your body, sink deeper still, and breathe for 5, squeezing in. 4, creating heat. 3, hug your knees up and back for 2. And that's it. On 1, unwrap. Reach your arms up, plant your legs side by side, lower your hands to your heart. Good job. Take a breath in. Exhale, come to sit. You might just sit. Chair pose, moving to Gadundasana. Lift up your left leg, cross it over your right leg. This is another place you could get off and just stay here. Or you take the right arm under, give yourself a big hug, backs of your hands, fronts of your hands. Collide into your center, like you're giving yourself the biggest squish on earth. 5, 4, keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Unwrap, unwind, scoop your arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Just bow your head into your hands. Close your eyes. And feel. As you open your eyes, take your feet beyond hip distance apart. Track your knees over your ankles and sink down into Malasana squat pose. Your elbows come towards your thighs, your palms can connect, and then actively push your thighs into your arms into your thighs. Inhale, lift up your heart and your chest. Exhale, soften. Just breathe here. When you're ready, blink open your eyes, take your hands behind you. This may or may not work. Just drop your bum down to feet. Open your legs wide. May or may not work. If you need to move your limbs manually, that's okay too. Open your legs wide, point your toes up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward by any amount. There's a lot of work happening in and around your adductor muscles, your inner groin here. So remember, you're not going into pain. You're finding safe sensation, usually about like a 7 out of 10 in intensity, and marinating there for 5 breaths. Good. Push your hands down. Bring your legs back in. Place your feet down on the floor in front of you. And just rock your knees from side to side. Either stay here, rocking your knees, or press your hands down behind you. Press your feet flat and lift your pelvis up. Draw your head Chin down, so you're looking in towards your belly. Inhale here. And exhale, sink back down. Good. Take a moment now to find a wall or a couch or even a chair. I'll show you with both. I have a wall and a chair. So if you're using a wall, this is called legs up the wall. Lie flat on your back. You could place a cushion under your head or a pillow under your head and just stretch your legs up the wall. The closer your bum and your legs are to the wall, the more active this becomes. So I usually suggest taking your body about a foot away from the wall, at least, so there's the possibility of rest here. And if you don't have a wall, but you have a chair or a couch, it will look very similar. It will do all of the same things, like recirculate the flow of blood through your body, ease your digestive system, relax the mind. This pose is said to reset feelings of depression or sadness, a lot of the feelings that are aligned with this dark, wintry time. So close your eyes and let yourself really melt into this shape. Let your jaw relax. Separate the biting surfaces of your teeth. And make the decision to do nothing, absolutely nothing, but lie here for the next few minutes. I will call you when time is up.
Notice your body melting like snow in this shape. And if it feels like the place to close your practice, stay here. Otherwise, quietly make your way down into final Shavasana, just resting on your back with your legs extended for a few final moments of rest.
A big part of this idea of wintering or embracing winter is one of taking rest without feeling guilt or shame, taking time to yourself to move, to have a bath, to nap, to move in your yoga class. And so tonight, I will leave you here in Legs Up the Wall or Shavasana. I will close the class from here and invite you to stay as long as you can, or maybe just to slither from here to your bed and take all this magic from your movement practice into your sleep and your dreams. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.